Shalom Israel, brother Naquam, coming back at you with these precepts, giving, of course, all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai. And today we're going into evil spirits and angels and demons. So we're going to touch into certain evil spirits. We're going to touch into demons. We're going to touch into angels. We're going to get right into it. All right, because we got to know that there's more than just carnal things. There's more than just the things that you feel of the flesh. We all know that as men, we feel pain, you get emotional, you feel anger, sometimes you may feel envy or jealousy or hatred. You have these different feelings that go through the mind of a mortal man. But you also have to know that there's a spiritual aspect to all things. The Lord has spirits and angels and demons and principalities operating this whole earth as we speak. As you're watching this video, there may be angels around you. There may be demons in the next room. You understand? So there's spirits and angels who the Lord has behind the scenes. Like the comparison of this whole universe being the Most High's movie. And we always use the example that you have the lead star like Yahweh Shai, you have the bad guy, you have Esau, which is Esau, and Satan. You have the extras, which are the other nations. You got the other lead role, best supporting actor or best supporting role, which are the Yasharala, the children of Israel. You understand? But you also have in the movie, every great movie, you got behind the scene guys. You got guys that's perfecting. They do the lights. You understand? They make sure that the costumes are perfected. They make sure that they're able to bring the actors different food and water. So there's things that go on behind the scenes. People in charge of doing the audio and the visual. People that do the editing. So those are how the angels and the spirits operate. They're behind the scenes doing the will of the Most High Yahweh. You can't see them, but they're doing the work of the Lord as we speak. They're in charge of causing chaos and confusion. They're in charge of protecting people. They're in charge of deliverance. So these are the messengers and the behind the scene guys for the movie. You understand? So we're going to get into these angels and principalities and powers and demons. First, let's go to the book of John, chapter 4. And I want to start at verse 24. It says, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So it's telling you that the Most High, although he has a physical body and we're made in the similitude of the Most High, which means we have we have shoulders, we have fingers, we have thighs. Those are the same things that the Most High has, but he's also a spirit. His essence is a spirit. You understand? And everything on this earth that lives is a product of the Most High Spirit. Whether you a bear, an antelope, a human, you understand, a locust, an angel, a demon, you're all a product of the Most High Spirit. This whole world and this whole earth flows together under the governance of the Most High Spirit. And if you worship the Most High, you have to worship him in spirit and in truth. That's why it tells you in the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, that our spirit maketh intercession with us in groanings that cannot be uttered. Because when you pray, the spirit is bearing witness with the Lord and it's saying certain things on the spiritual side that you can't comprehend. Let me get that real quick in Romans chapter 8. That's why it says they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth, which means you have to be keeping the laws, keeping the commandments, and believing Yahweh Shai. Romans, see if I can find that scripture real quick. It says in groanings which cannot be uttered. Romans. Oh my goodness. I believe that's Romans chapter 8. Salakia, just bear with me real quick. Here it is, Romans 8 and 26. Likewise, the spirit also helpeth our infirmities. It don't say the flesh help. It says the spirit helpeth our infirmities because we're dealing with spirits. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the spirit. Because the Lord knows what is the spirit and he knows what you really try to pray for. You may be praying to get a job. You may be praying for wisdom or for faith or more knowledge, but you may not be saying the right things out of your mouth. But the Lord is bearing witness with your spirit, and your spirit is making an intercession with the spirit of the Lord. So he's able to understand and comprehend what you're saying, although you're really not saying it, because the spirit is saying it for you. And he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of God. So Yahushua makes intercession, and that spirit of Yahushua is making intercession for us. You understand? He's that mediator to bring us back to the Most High through his spirit. So we read in St. John that it says that God is a spirit. So everything, like I said, is a product of his spirit. Let's go to the book of Job. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Job, chapter 34, and we're going to go to verse 14. Job chapter 34 and 14. It says, if he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again into the dust, or into dust. So if the Lord said, man, I'm done with man, I'm done with my creatures, I hate the way these trees are, I hate the way these animals behave, I hate the minds of man, I want my spirit back. If the Lord said I want my spirit back, everything's going to perish. The trees are going to wither away and crumble. The birds are going to fall out of the sky. All of the fishes are going to die. All of the mortal man, your spirit is just going to drop dead. Because in the book of James, chapter 2 and 26, let me get that real quick. James chapter 2 and verse 26. It says, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. So the point I want to get in that is the body without the spirit is dead. So if the Lord said I want my spirit back, you can't be like, well, I can hold on to my spirit. No, the spirit of a man is subject to that man. Like 1 Corinthians, it says the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. Let's go back to Job chapter 34 and 14. It says, if he set his heart upon man, if he gathered unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again into the dust. So it don't matter how much money you got, how much riches or wealth, you just a dust. You understand? You clay and ashes. You're made from the earth, and the Lord said, if I want my spirit back, he could do that. So not just living creatures, as in man and as in animals and reptiles and different creeping things, the angels are also a product of his spirit too. Because the Lord is pure energy. The Lord is a pure fire. He's a pure spirit. And it tells you that. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 12 and 29. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 29. It tells you what? It says, for our God, the God of Israel, is a consuming fire. So the Lord is pure energy. He's pure fire. You understand? He's not just a big puff of smoke, or people think he's just a cloud in the sky. You understand? Or the Lord is only inside your church. No, the Lord is a consuming fire. And he's pure spirit. He's pure energy. Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 1 and 7. Actually, let's go to Psalms 104. Because we're dealing with angels and principalities and powers. But the point I wanted to show you is how the Lord is a consuming fire. And the angels are a product of the Lord's spirit. So if the Lord is a consuming fire, the angels are also pure fire and pure energy. Psalms chapter 104 and 4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So angel in the Hebrew word, it means messenger. You understand? So Malachim, which are the messengers of the Lord. So who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So if the Lord is a consuming fire, his spirits that he made, whether you Michael the archangel, whether you one of the 7 holy angels, whether you a damn demon, you're still pure fire, you're pure energy. Inside of a man has a pure fire burning inside of him. He has a pure spirit burning inside of him because you come from the Most High. That's why there's a thing, Esau calls it spontaneous combustion. You may have heard of spontaneous combustion, or you could look it up. I'm not going to go really too deep into it, but you may be sitting down and you suddenly catch on fire. You could be sitting on your couch watching the NBA finals and suddenly you smell smoke. You're like, well, I'm not cooking nothing. Where's that smoke coming from? You look on your shirt, the shirt coming out of you. You on fire because the Lord may have turned up your spirit and turned up that fire inside of you where it's slowly consuming your body from the inside out. Esau can't figure out what happens. That's why they call it spontaneous, because they don't understand the source of what's causing your body to be a living furnace, for your body to burn itself out from the inside out. But the men of the Lord know that's the spirit of the Lord burning up your flesh, because he turned up your spirit and now your body's being consumed. So humans And the Israelite men and Israelite women and other nations, you have a spirit inside of you. You have part of that Lord's consuming fire inside of you. And those angels are spirits and fire too. Let me read that one more time. Psalms chapter 104:4. Who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers a flaming fire. So the angels are spirits. You cannot see a spirit. You cannot taste the spirit. The spirit is not tangible. The spirit is not carnal. The spirit is the spirit. From there, let's go to Genesis 1:1. Genesis chapter 1:1. So those spirits are pure energies from the third heaven, man. Those are spirits from the fourth dimension. From the so-called fourth dimension. Let's go to Genesis 1:1. So we get the foundation of what angels are. What's the makeup of them? What are their spirits? You understand? Genesis chapter 1 verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. So we know, if you get the understanding, that it's not a singular entity. You understand? It's not just one being that created the heaven and the earth. When it says God created the heaven and the earth, that's going into the plural form of God, which is the powers with an S on the end. So there's more than one entity that made the heaven and the earth. Not Zeus and Neptune and Hades. It's talking about the Alahayim, the powers. They made the heaven and the earth. This pure concentrated fire made the heaven and the earth. Which are what? Yahweh Shai and the angels. They made the heaven and the earth. The Most High gave them the blueprint on what to make and how to conduct business on the earth, and how to make the carbon and how to make the different elements and how to make the mountains this high. And I want this tree to have this form. I want this insect to have this many legs. I want humans to have this amount of touch and hearing and senses and intellect. All of these things that go on the earth and in the universe were created from the order of the Most High Yahweh, given to Yahweh Shai. You understand? So right now I'm getting to the source on how the angels were made and who made the heaven and the earth. Genesis 1 and let's go to 26 to show you further proof that in the creation it was more than just one entity. Genesis 1 and 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the Lord said he wanted man to be in his image. You understand? The Lord wanted man to be in his likeness. And these were the spirits of the angels, along with Yahweh Shai, that were in one accord. So when man was made, they were made in perfection. You understand? They were made with law. They were made in order. That's what it means when you're made in an image. Because up in the heavens, there's law and order. There's not chaos and nobody throwing hands and fighting and arguing. Nobody's arguing and having conflict up in the heavens. So man was made on the earth to be in the same order as it is in the heavens. Man was made to be upright. Let me show you that in Ecclesiastes chapter 7. I believe that's 7 and 28. 7 and 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God, talking about the Alahayim, the powers, Yahweh Shai and the angels, that God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. All these different idols and different types of sin that they got into, that was a product and a figment of their own thoughts. But they weren't made intentionally to go off. Man was made upright. Man was made in order. Man was made in the likeness and the image of the angels. And when it says likeness, that means you have fingers. Like I said, you have shoulders, you have feet. Because when the angels come down on the earth, they have the same similitude. Because they're in the similitude of the Most High. And when it says image, you're made in law, you're made in order, you're made in perfection. All right, let's go back to Genesis 1 and 26. Oh, it's lucky. Genesis chapter 1 and 26. And God said, let us make man in our image. So the us is Yahweh Shai and the angels. So this is in the beginning. Now, when were the angels created? Some people say angels were created on another planet. You understand? Some people don't know the foundation of the angels. Well, we know who came first, Yahweh Shai or the angels. Yahushua came first before the angels. He's the Most High's first and only creation. And we're going to show you that. Let's go to Revelation chapter 3 and 14 to show you that Yahushua made the angels. He came before the angels. Revelation chapter 3, and I want to go to verse 14. Revelation 3 and 14. It says, and unto the angel of the church of Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of God. So when the Most High, talking about the Father, when it says God in this context, when the Most High made everything, his beginning of his creation started with Yahushua. He's the first creation of the Most High. Let's get more proof. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 8 and 22. Straight to the point. Proverbs 8 and 22. The Lord possessed. So this is Solomon writing, but Solomon is Yahushua. He's the reincarnation of Yahushua. The Lord possessed. So this is him, the author of Proverbs, but he's talking about himself. So this is Yahushua writing about himself. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no mountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was I brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When the Most High came up with the blueprint of how he going to make the heavens, Yahushua was there. How do you think Yahushua knew how to make it? When he set a compass upon the face of the depth, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the foundations of the deep, when he gave to the sea his decree that the water should not pass his commandment, when he appointed the foundations of the earth, then was I, this is how I said, when the Most High was coming up with the blueprint or how he's going to make the universe, then I was by him as one brought up with him. I was as one brought up with him, man. That's heavy. That's real heavy. And I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him. You understand? So Yahushua, he's that first creation. Let's get more proof. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's. Oh, I gotta go to the app. Let's go to the book of. I got this app right here to go to it. 2nd Ezra's, the 6th chapter. So we're gonna show you further precepts to validate that Yahushua was the first creation. So the Most High didn't make the angels, and then he made Yahushua. The Lord is a consuming fire. He made his son first. And then he made the angels. Then Michael the archangel was made. Then Gabriel was made. You understand? Then Uriel was made. Then Raphael was made. Then the 7 holy angels were made. Let's go to Slakia. Oh, I'm in Apocrypha. Let's go to 2nd Ezra's chapter 6 and verse 1. And he said unto me, in the beginning, when the earth was made, so when the foundation of the earth and the blueprint for the earth was made, before the borders of the world stood, or ever the winds blew, before it thundered and lightning. So before all of this was made, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid. Even before the foundations of paradise were laid. Before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established. What are the movable powers? Demons, you understand? Principalities, angels and spirits, and the princes of darkness of this world, and the rulers of light and guardian angels and death angels, you understand? Those are movable powers because these spirits go to and fro through the earth to fulfill the will of Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahushua. So it says, before it thundered and lightning, or ever the foundations of paradise were laid, before the fair flowers were seen, or ever the movable powers were established, before the innumerable multitude of angels were gathered together. So before the angels were gathered, before the angels were created, or ever the height of the air lifted up, before the measures of the firmament were named, or ever the chimneys of Zion were hot, and ere the present years were sought out, or ever the inventions of them that now sin were turned, before they were sealed that have gathered faith for a treasure, meaning before the elect spirits were created, before the angels were created, before the spirit of Peter was made, before the spirit of James were made, before the spirits of the 144,000 were made. You understand? Before the top angels were made, before the mountains, everything that you see, smell, taste, and hear, and you can touch with your hands, before all of these things were created, what? Then did I consider these things. Yahweh Shai, then did I consider these things. He's speaking right now. And they were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by none other. So Yahweh Shai said what? They were all made through me alone. Yahweh Shai said these were made through me alone. He formed the spirits. He formed the angels. He made principalities and powers in darkness. He's in charge of having different demons on you. He's in charge of having guardian angels around you. He gives the order. He's the captain of the host of the Lord. Like I can tell you in Joshua, the 5th chapter. So all of these spirits were created for his pleasure. He made them for his will. I'm going to read that 6 again. Then did I consider these things, and they were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also shall they be ended, and by none other. So that's heavy. So let's go to Colossians. Let's go back to the regular standard. New Testament. Colossians 1:13. It says, who hath delivered us from darkness, from the power of darkness, and hath translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son. Talking about the children of Israel, the elect of the children of Israel. In whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. So Yahweh Shai is the firstborn of every creature. He's the beginning of the creation of Yahweh. He's the image of the invisible power. So when you're looking at Yahweh Shai, you're looking at the Most High. If you got ears to hear, it says, for by Yahweh Shai, were all things created that are in heaven. So what's in heaven? You have celestial bodies. You understand? You have angels. Like I said, you have demons on the left-hand side. You had a chief demon, when you read the book of Tobit, that was in charge of killing all of the husbands that Sarah was about to have. He was a demon. So the Lord sent another angel, another spirit, to bind up that spirit and send him to the uttermost parts of Egypt. I'm going to show you that in the book of Tobit. You understand? You have chief princes like Michael. He's a chief prince and he's the so-called champion or the leader for the nation of Israel. That's the spirit that Yahweh Shai created to govern the children of Israel, to be our protector, which is Mayaka Allah, which is Michael. You understand? You have regular little demons and little spirits. People may have a pork demon on them, which means you infest and you love to eat pork or whatever. You may have a spirit of an alcoholic. That means you have a spirit or a demon on you that's compelling you to sin. You got to get that spirit off you by fasting and by praying, by making supplication to the Most High, by being sincere, by praying for a clean heart so the Lord can take that off of you. You understand? People may have a lion spirit on them. People may have all different types of spirits on them. A deaf spirit, you understand? A blind spirit. All of these spirits, they enter into your spirit and they alter your spirit and they cause you to have ailments and different infirmities. All right. For by him, Colossians 1:16, for by him were all things created that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones. What are thrones? Kingdoms, rulership. So the Lord set up who's going to rule on the earth and what time they're going to rule on the earth. He set up the Persian Middle Empire, the Greek Empire, Alexander the Freak. You understand? Antiochus Epiphanes, the Roman Empire, Caligula. You understand? Nero, Donald Trump, Genghis Khan. He set up all of these different rulers of the earth. Nebuchadnezzar. Those are thrones. Whether they be thrones or dominions. Dominions are rulerships of the earth and on geographical locations. Or principalities. Principalities are powers and demons and angels. Or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things. And by him all things consist. Self-explanatory. And he is the head of the body. The body are the Israelites. He's the head of the body, the leader. The church are the Israelites. When we read Acts 7:38. Who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence. So Yahushua is the top man in charge. He's the HNIC. You know what I'm saying? Not Farrakhan, not the leader of your congregation, not your camp. You understand? They don't have the preeminence. They don't have the word of the Lord. Yahushua, he gets all preeminence because he made you, dummy. For it pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell. So the Father set all of these things up for Yahushua, man. Just like you got a son, you want your son to have a nice car. You want your son to have, nice things on the earth. You want him to have, you may want your son to have nice wealth and have land and have property. You understand? To have a beautiful woman. The things that you may want for your son. You don't want your son to be poor and homeless and begging for money. You want your son to have the things that you will have and even better. So it pleased the Father to give his son all things, which is literally everything, the whole universe. He's the king of this universe. He's the king of the third heaven. He's the king of everything that was ever created. And he made the angels. That's the point that I wanted to get out of that. All right, from there, let's go to Isaiah chapter 45 and 7. The book of Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 7. A classic verse. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So the Lord makes peace and he creates evil. So people think, oh, well, Satan created evil. He's the author of everything terrible on the earth. That's why there's famines. That's why there's death. And that's why innocent babies die, because Satan is doing that. You err not knowing the scriptures. The Lord is doing all that, man. Is it not written in Psalm 68 and 20? And to the Lord our God belong the issues of death. 1 Samuel 2 and 6, I the Lord kill, I make alive. You understand? So people don't know these scriptures. And the Lord forms the light and creates darkness. He makes peace and create evil. So you have righteous angels, which bear the light, and you have wicked angels, which are demons that are in darkness. So Satan he's not pushing these demons to do what he want to do. All of these demons are up there in the heavens, and the Lord is sending them down on the earth to fulfill his will. And all these spirits know each other. And I'm going to show you that. These demons, they know who Yahushua was because they dwell up there with him in the heavens. I'm going to bring it all out for you. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and 14. The book of Sirach, chapter 33 and 14. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33 and 14. Let's bring it out. Because the Lord deals with a balance. You understand? There has to be fire and water. There has to be, light and darkness. There has to be good and evil. Sirach chapter 33 and 14. It says, good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High. And there are 2 and 2, one against another. So you have evil angels and righteous angels. They're 2 and 2, one against another. That's what these other nations have the concept of, like the Moabites have something called a yin yang. You have light and darkness dwelling in perfect unison. You understand? They get that from the scriptures. They know that the Most High deals with balance. He deals with order. So from there, let's go to the book of, what did I want to get? 1 Kings chapter 22 and 19 to show you what actually takes place in the heavens. 1 Kings chapter 22 and 19. Let's get right into it. It says, and he said, so this is the prophet, I believe his name was Michael, what is his name? Micaiah. So the kings, I believe it was Jehoshaphat and Ahab. Jehoshaphat and Ahab, they wanted to go to war, so they had to seek a vision from the Lord first. So they got this prophet, and Ahab didn't like this prophet because he kept telling him straight up what was going to happen. So this prophet spoke something. He said, I saw the Lord on his throne up there in the heavens. So this prophet is giving you a vision of what is taking place in the heavens. That there's a council, a round table, so to speak, a meeting place in the heavens on where the Most High decides what angel is going to protect this man, what angel is going to go destroy this man, what angel is going to infest this spirit. You understand? So there's a council going on in the heavens between the Most High and his spirits that he created through Yahweh Shai. 1 Kings chapter 22 and 19. And he said, hear thou therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the host of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. So on the right hand side, you got righteous angels. You got Michael and Gabriel, your so-called guardian angels, the holy angels, the angels that present the prayers of the saints. These are the righteous angels on the right hand side. On the left hand side, you got demons. You got other angels. You got Legion, which was a whole group of demons. You got Satan on the left hand side. You got other wicked demons. You understand? It says, and the Lord said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. So one angel said, well, who's going to get this man to die? That's what the Most High said. Who's going to get this king to die? And one angel said, well, I can do this. Another angel said, well, no, I can do this. Another angel said, well, maybe my idea is better. So one said on this matter, and another said on that matter. And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, remember, these are angels. The Lord made his angel spirits. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? He said, how are you going to persuade this man? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. So how come the Lord didn't rebuke this man? When his spirit said, I'm going to be a lying spirit, your Lord, if you didn't have no understanding, you would have thought the Lord said, I rebuke you. What you talk about being a lying spirit? You know it's a sin to be a liar. I destroy you, angel. No, the Lord said what? The Lord said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Because his spirit came from the left-hand side. And his job is to be a lying spirit. He's going to transform his spirit to enter into this vessel to bear witness with this prophet spirit. He's going to transform or transfigure the spirit inside of this prophet to become a lying spirit. He's going to alter his mind and alter his tongue to send forth lies instead of being righteous. That's what these spirits can do. So this is a council going on in the heavens. So you may be arguing with somebody, or you may think you're going through something. Oh, damn, this person having mood swings. Well, this person, they was good 1 minute, now they all angry. You understand? They turning up on me, they switching sides. You may think it from a mortal mind, oh, well, that's just them, that's just them being a nigga, that's just them being wicked. No, man, you don't even understand what's going on the heavens. The Lord may have had a council up there in the heavens said, who's going to go forth and put a demon inside of this woman to start an argument with you so you could leave the house and run into this person? Who's going to cause this man to put the spirit of him to be an abusive husband, to the spirit of anger inside of him? You understand? Who's going to cause the moon to be this far from the earth? You understand? Who's going to create the mountains this high? So there are spirits that are created to fulfill the will of the Most High. So the spirit that was created was sent down to cause this man to lie. The king didn't know why this man lied. They don't know what's going on in the heavens. Let me read that. Let me read verse 20 again. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit. So this is an angel coming down and entering and bearing witness with the spirit of this prophet and altering his senses in his body to cause him to lie. Basically going into mind control, for lack of a better terms. And he said, I will go forth and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil concerning thee. So that man became a lying spirit in the mouth of his prophets. Let's get more scriptures on how these evil angels and these demons interact. In Job chapter 2 and 1. And there was a day when the sons of God, talking about the angels, came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? He said, where you coming from, Satan? Because at a certain time up there in the heavens, the angels present themselves before the Lord. And here comes Satan too.
The Lord didn't take out his sword and start fighting with Satan, having a sword battle in the air. No, Satan is under the authority of the Most High. Whatever the Lord tells Satan to do, he does it. Satan can't get up and rebel and fight against the Lord and take angels with him. That's Greek mythology, man. That comes from the Roman Catholic Church. That's the doctrine of mortal man. Satan is under the will and subjection of the Most High. All things were made by him for him through his Son. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. So when he was going to and fro, causing all types of hell, mayhem, chaos, and destruction on the earth. But this is to show you on the left-hand side that you have the sons of God, the angels, and the demons that came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them. All right. So all the angels aren't little white babies with wings and naked and got a cupid in their hand. Got a heart box of chocolates and an arrow in their hand with curly white blonde hair, 2 feet tall. Those aren't the angels, man. The angels are terrible. When the men of the Lord saw the angels, they were terrified. They were petrified. Certain people got sick. You can read about Daniel. Daniel got sick as hell. You understand? He almost fainted. He did faint. And I'm going to show you that, Lord willing. Ezra damn near lost his mind. We saw the visions that the spirits and the angels were showing him. He asked the Lord, why did you do this to me? You understand? So these angels aren't pleasant things. You can read about them. They have 4 faces, like an ox and a lion and the eagle and a man, with 6 wings and 2 hands under their wings. So these angels are terrible creatures that the Lord created. It's not a pleasant thing to see. You don't want to see an angel. You understand? So from there, let's go to Psalm 78 and 49. Psalms chapter 78 and 49. It says, Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them, so the Lord cast upon the Israelites, the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them. He made a way to his anger. He spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. So the Lord has evil angels, self-explanatory. He sent evil angels among them. All right. So you don't learn this in your Christian church. Joel Osteen is not going to tell you about evil angels. T.D. Jakes and Creflo Dollar, they're not going to tell you about evil angels. You understand? Al Sharpton is not going to go up there and tell you that there's demons that the Lord made to fulfill his will. You're going to get this from the truth. From the men of the Lord. From the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Let's go to the book of Judges, chapter 9 and 23. Now I'm just giving you examples on how these evil angels are found throughout the scriptures. Judges 9 and 23. It says, then God sent an evil spirit, or he sent an evil angel between Abimelech and the men of Shechem. And the men of Shechem dealt treacherously with Abimelech. So these men had a conflict with each other. Is it because he didn't like what he wore, or because this man looked at him funny, or because he said something wrong out of his mouth? No, these men had a conflict with him because the Lord sent the evil spirit down there to cause conflict. Like I'm saying, you may get into an altercation with another person. You had a red light, they got road rage, or you arguing with your woman, or whatever the case may be, and you may just think, oh, I did something wrong, but she tripping. No, the Lord sent evil spirits and angels to cause conflict and confusion to fulfill his will. It says God sent the evil spirit. Not Satan, you understand? Not some demonic force from hell, but the Lord sent the evil spirit, man. The creator of heaven and earth. And he caused these men to deal treacherously with each other during the time of Judges. So from there, let's go to the book of Sirach 39 and 28. Sirach chapter 39, right out of the Apocrypha chapter 39 and 28. So we're showing you that these angels are spirits, they're ministers, they're messengers for the Lord. Whether you're sent to deliver out a righteous message, an angel may have a decree to put you to death. Damn, how did that person die in a car accident? Damn, how did that man end up in the wrong place at the wrong time? No, the Lord sent the spirit to confound the mind of that man to cause him to go where he wanted him to go, so he can get put to death. So like I said, these are behind the scenes, man. These are the people that's in charge of setting up the different settings on the earth, like in the movie. In the movie, you have the actors at one scene, then they go to another part on a site, on another set, and they have a whole another scene set up. those are the scenes that the angel created. You know, the cameras and the lights and the audio and the visual and all of the different technical things behind the scenes, those are the angels and the spirits and the demons. All right, I want to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter, I believe it's chapter 39. Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and 28. It says, Slacky, Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance. So there are certain spirits that the Lord made for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made him. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. So when there's a tsunami in Haiti, or a tsunami somewhere in Sri Lanka, or an earthquake over there in Japan, you understand? Who's causing these things? Is that the tectonic plates just randomly rubbing together? Is that the wave said, I'm going to just come up on my own? The water said, I'm going to do what I want to do? No, man. There are spirits that are created for vengeance. Don't you know there's an angel that has authority over the waters? Let me get that real quick. Is that Revelation 16? It's going to have to be a 2-part series, because it's a lot with these spirits that people don't know. Revelation 16 and 4. Right. And the third angel poured out his vial upon the rivers and the fountains of waters, and they became blood. And I heard the angel of the waters. So this angel has authority and power over the waters, over the lakes and the rivers and the great sea. You understand? Over tsunamis and whirlpools. You know, when people drown, this angel has power over the waters. And I heard the angel of the water say, Thou art righteous, O Lord, which art and was and shall be, because thou hast judged thus. So when it said that earthquakes and famines and floods and all these things are created, these are spirits that have power and authority to send out death by manipulating the elements, manipulating these different situations to cause people to get put to death. I'm going to read that again in Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, right? Meaning for payback, for destruction, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made him. So these are, like I said, little white baby angels that come out and hold your hand and, you know, with blonde hair and blue eyes. You err, man. These are death angels. Fire and hell and famine and death. All of these are created for vengeance. So when people get burnt up in a wildfire, or people's house gets set on fire, that's the Lord sent the spirit out there to cause that to happen. It says, all these created for vengeance, teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Damn, what happened? Yeah. It says, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. So these spirits cannot rebel against the Lord. These spirits can't say, I'm going to come down and I want to have sex with a woman. These angels can't say, well, I'm going to come down. Man, forget the Lord. I'm going to go on the bathroom break. I want to have a smoke break, Lord. Lord, I'm done. Can I get a vacation time? No, they rejoice in the Most High's commandment. The angels have feelings too. In Luke 15, it says that the angels rejoice over one sinner that repented. In the book of Psalms, it says that the sons of God shouted for joy when the heavens and the earth were made. So these are spirits behind the scenes, and these are your brothers. These angels are your fellow saints and your fellow brethren. And I'm going to show you that too. The angels are just like you. The angels are your helpers from behind the scenes. And they rejoice in the commandments of the Lord. So when the Lord said, I want this man to die getting hit by a Mack truck, I want this whole nation to go through a famine, these are spirits that go out and fulfill the will of the Most High. Yahweh. Alright. Now from there, let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 24. 2 Maccabees chapter 3 and 24. 2 Maccabees chapter 3 and 24. So we're going into evil spirits and angels right now and different demons. Second Maccabees chapter 3 and 24. It says, now as he was, Slakia. All right. Now as he was there present himself with his guard about the treasury, the Lord of spirits. Remember in Hebrews, it tells you that he's the father of spirits. The Lord of spirits, or the Lord of these angels, and the prince of all power, caused a great apparition, so that all they presumed to come in with him were astonished at the power of God and fainted and were so afraid. So he put this man in a trance, in a nightmare. You may have daydreams. This man is having a living nightmare during the daytime. For there appeared unto them an horse with a terrible rider upon him. This is an angel coming off of this chariot and adorned with very fair hair covering. He had his mitre on or whatever. The Lord put a turban on this angel. It says with the very fair hair covering. And he ran, or a garment he had on, Slakia. And he ran fiercely and smote at Heliodorus with his forefeet, this Edomite. It says, and it seemed that he that sat upon the horse had a complete harness of gold. Moreover, 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength. So these are 3 angels that came down on a mission. Moreover, these aren't regular young men, Moreover, 2 other young men appeared before him, notable in strength, excellent in beauty, comely in apparel, which stood by him on either side, and scourged him continually, and gave him sore stripes. So the Most High sent 3 angels down to beat this man's ass, literally, to come down with scourges and stripes. First they put him in a trance, then they saw a vision of these 3 angels coming down, all decked out in beautiful angels, garments in gold. You understand? And they came down with these scourges or these whips, and they start beating this Edomite ass, literally. And it says, and they scourged him continually and gave him sore stripes. Verse 27. And Heliodorus fell suddenly at the ground and was compassed with great darkness. And they that were with him took him up and put him in a litter. So they tried to pick him up. This man was having a damn nightmare. Thus him, and that lately came with a great train and with all his guard into the treasury, they carried out, being unable to help himself with his weapons, and manifestly they acknowledged the power of God. So this man came in with all this pomp, trying to come in to the deal with the Israelites harshly. Then then the Lord said, I got something for you. He sent 3 angels down to whip this man like a little child, like a young boy, like a kid. They that were younger than I can tell you in Job. And he tried to get his weapons out and fight these angels, but these angels was whipping his ass with these scourges. These are spirits that the Lord created for vengeance, to fulfill his will. For he by the hand of God, verse 29. It says, Slakia, verse 28. Verse 29. For he by the hand of God was cast down and lay speechless without all hope of life. So you understand, the Lord can send spirits down here to do what he want to do. He sent spirits down there to whip this man with scourges. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 9 and 1. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 1. So we're going to get a few more examples, then we're going to close out. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 1. So this is going into the spirits and the angels, mainly going into the evil angels. I'm going to start at 9 and 1. So this is before all of the Israelites were going into all types of sin and idolatry, worshiping the sun, Talmuds, and going into straight wickedness. So the Lord caused some certain spirits out here to come down on the earth to fulfill his will. Let's see what kind of spirits these were. If these were little white babies or these were holy angels that the Lord... Let's find out. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. So there were angels that had governance and power over the city of Jerusalem, that were watching over the city. Certain death angels and spirits that the Lord had set over Jerusalem. He says, bring these death angels over here to me. And it's going to show you that. So there are spirits over different natures and over different places. Like Amos 9 and 8, it says the eyes of the Lord God are upon his sinful kingdom. Because they have to present to the Lord that this nation has fulfilled their sin. so the Lord can destroy this place. So those angels that's holding back the four winds could let go of the destruction. So everything is going on behind the scenes. It says, so they have a destroying weapon in their hand. These death angels. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. What is a slaughter weapon? A sword, an axe, you understand? A bow and an arrow. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with the writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood behind the brazen altar. And the glory of the God of Israel was going up from the cherub whereupon he was to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. He said, not a physical mark, set a spiritual mark upon the men who know they're in captivity, to the man that's not going into sin, to the man that's serving me with sincerity and truth, to these men that sigh and cry for the abominations that are done unto my people. These are the men on the earth now. These same men, Lord, get us out of this captivity. Lord, can you please deliver us from this oppression? Oh, Lord, how long are we going to be here? Lord, why won't you destroy our adversaries? Lord, why won't you magnify your name again? These are the same men that sigh and that cry for the abominations done thereof. These are righteous men. So the Lord said, I want these angels to spiritually mark these men. So when all hell break loose, these men will not be destroyed, but these men will be delivered because they have a spiritual mark on them. So there's angels going through all of the nation of Israel now, and they're marking these men with this mark, and they say, okay, this man's going to be delivered, this man's going to be delivered, this man's going to be delivered. So make sure you got that mark. It says, and to the others. So if you don't got the mark, he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the midst. And if you don't have his mark, you got the mark of the beast. You got the mark of righteousness and you got the mark of wickedness. It's self-explanatory. You will have that mark of the beast because you're being spiritually stamped with the philosophies and the mind state of sin, which is promoted by Esau, the beast. You understand? By his different politics and his philosophies, false education system, his false religious system, and you have that mark of that beast. That means you're seduced and you're in this world. You're in gross darkness and you're alienated from the truth. So you care too much about the riches of this world. So you're not going to be out here sighing and crying for the oppression because you love this captivity. So you got the mark of the beast and not the mark and the seal of this righteousness. And to the others, so let's see what's going to happen to you if you don't have that mark of righteousness. And to the others, he said in mine hearing, Go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So they took out the old man first because the old men were leaders and they knew better. So the Lord dealt with the old man first and got them out the way and killed them. These are death angels that the Lord sent to kill babies, little children, maids, women, young men, old men. He didn't care. The Lord is no respecter of persons. So these are death angels that had governance over the Israelites, and he sent them out to destroy them. Death angels, man. Not little white babies with blonde hair and blue eyes and come down to tickle you and play high five with you. You know, they want to come down and play checkers with you. That's not how these spirits are. They are spirits created for vengeance and death and destruction from the third heaven. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 24 and 15. 2 Samuel chapter 24 and 15. It says, So the Lord sent a pestilence. So this is after Satan entered into the heart of David and he numbered the children of Israel. He tried to play God and do a census, and you can't number the children of Israel. So the Lord sent the plague out there. He gave him an option to pick, but David said, You pick, Lord, which was wise. So the Lord sent the spirit, so the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed. And there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men. So this angel went out to cause destruction through pestilence. And when the angel, so this is going up in the heavens, the Lord said, who's going to go out there and cause a pestilence? How are you going to? The Lord said, this spirit came forth, and the Lord said, I want this spirit to cause pestilence, to go down to the earth and the sight of mortal man and cause mayhem on the earth. And when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil. So this angel was putting in so much work. He was in a zone, destroying this man, destroying this man, destroying this man. 70,000 men. He said, man, what up, man? I'm about to destroy Jerusalem. This angel said, I'm about to destroy the whole city, the whole people. The Lord said, chill. He said, hey, you going off. You doing too much. But it's all of the will of the Lord. It says that when the angel stretched out his hand upon Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord repented him of the evil and said to the angel that destroyed the people, it is enough. He said, you cool. Chill out. Stay now thine hand. And the angel of the Lord was by the threshold of Araunah the Jebusite. And David spake unto the Lord when he saw the angel. So David literally saw this angel causing destruction that smote the people and said, lo, I have sinned and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, talking about these my fellow brothers, my Israelites, but these sheep, what have they done? Let thine hand, I pray thee, be against me and against my father's house. So this is an example. This angel was sent out to destroy 70,000 men. During these great wars in World War I and World War II, where people have famines in Yemen or there's a famine in Venezuela, the Lord is sending an angel out there to cause death through pestilence, through destroying your crops, through shutting down your infrastructure, to ultimately to put you to death. These are evil spirits that the Lord made for vengeance. Let's go to Luke chapter 4 and 33. Luke chapter 4 and Slakia. Luke chapter 4 and 33. So we're getting into it and showing you what actually takes place in the heavens. That everything isn't holy and everything isn't peace. There are evil spirits and there are angels and demons. Luke 4 and 33. And in the synagogue there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil. So this angel up there in the heavens came down and infested this man's spirit and altered him. And now he had the spirit of an unclean devil in him. This demon entered inside of this man. And he cried out with a loud voice saying, let us alone. They show this in movies like The Exorcist or these different so-called scary movies. When a demon infests a little boy or child and they speak out with that loud ass voice. That was going on in the ancient world. And in the synagogue, there was a man which had a spirit of an unclean devil and cried out with a loud voice, saying, let us alone. What have we done unto thee, thou Yahushua of Nazareth? Art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God. So this demon knew who Yahushua was, because Yahushua made this demon. He said, damn, Yahushua, what are you doing on the earth? You came to destroy us? I'm out here having a good time infesting these people, causing mayhem and evil. You came to destroy us? Because when these spirits on the left-hand side or the right-hand side, they know each other, man. But when they come on the earth, they're like, oh, okay, you up there on the heavens. You was on that side. I see you. But you came to destroy us? I'm going to read that again. Oh, what the hell just happened? Luke, what verse was that? Oh, 4 and 34. Saying, let us alone. The demon said, let us alone. What have we to do with thee? Thou Yahushua of Nazareth, art thou come to destroy us? I know thee who thou art, the Holy One of God. So these demons know who the men of the Lord are. These spirits knew when you read about Paul, they said, Paul I know, Yahushua I know, but who are ye? They knew who are the 144,000. That's where these men go through the most affliction, where these men go through the most conflict, where these men have to overcome the most tribulations and be tried and tried and tried in the furnace of affliction. Because these demons have to infest these men so they can overcome these demons and purify themselves and be made without spot and without blemish. So you may be wondering why you catching the most hell, why you going through the most affliction, why your life may seem harder than the others, because these demons are coming against you. You understand? And they know who the men of the Lord are. So their job is to stay on the earth as long as possible. They don't want to be put out of the earth. Because when Yahushua reigns in righteousness, there's going to be no more demons. So they want to have his governance on this earth as long as they can. And Yahushua rebuked him, saying, hold thy peace and come out of him. And when the devil had thrown him in the midst, so the devil said, fuck, and threw him in the midst. He said, I ain't going out like that. He came out of him and hurt him not. And they were all amazed and spake among themselves, saying, what a word is this? For with authority and power, he commanded the unclean spirits and they come out. So this man had an unclean spirit on him. You may be, like I said, an alcoholic, may have a weed demon on you, a pork demon on you, any type of spirit of adultery on you. Yahushua was able to tell that demon, come out of you. Now you're not addicted to nicotine no more. Now you hate smoking. Now the sight of alcohol makes you want to throw up. That's the power that Yahushua was moving with on the earth. And they saw that and they said, damn. That's why he got fame and glory amongst these different nations. Ultimately, even unto this day.
because he was able to cause these demons from the left hand side to come out of him, because he created those demons for his will. All right, let's go to Acts 19 and 13. Then we're gonna close out the book of Acts, chapter 19. Actually, let's sit on that. We're gonna close out right here. So, this is just going to the evil spirits and the demons. Acts 19 and 13 tell you the same thing, that these spirits know who's righteous and who's not righteous. So all of the angels aren't righteous. All of the spirits aren't made to be holy. That's a figment of Esau and his Christian doctrine, his Catholicism. So we just gave you a more in-depth look into what goes on in the third heavens and how these spirits and angels are created. So this is Brother Naquam coming back at you with these precepts, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Mashiach Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to bid you, Shalom.